free to go sit at your appointment next to your brother. Gotta at least sit next to him, okay? Do me that favor.
Could I do anything else?
Well, try to participate.
Good.
Are you good with having like Subway or something for lunch?
I don't like Subway, but okay.
We can go to Wendy's or something else. I was just curious if you'd like something special. I like your box collar. Mind if I hold it down? There you go.
Well, I'm still not talking. I don't want to talk. I'm just going to be here because I'm here.
Good morning, Eli. How are you?
Good, you?
I'm doing well. Where is your brother Ali?
Next to me?
He's next to good morning, Ali. How are you?
Stop.
Huh?
I was turning around so you could see him, but he just...
You don't want to be on the camera? That's perfectly okay. That's all right if he doesn't want to be on the camera. So today, we're going to talk about flexible thinking. What do you think of? What do you think that word means? Flexible thinking.
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. Because I wouldn't expect you to actually know. And that's what we're going to think about. Remember, we did all of these, we've done tons and tons and tons of exercises about our feelings and adapting to change and just a whole bunch of stuff. We did mindfulness exercises. I think we did mindfulness exercises last week, didn't we? Or did we? Where we learned that mindfulness was being in the moment.
Yeah.
And allowing other thoughts to come in, but not allowing those thoughts to take over what we're doing in that moment. So And sometimes it requires us to unlearn some of the old ways that we learned of doing things and try new ways of doing things. But it's and we learn to think differently about it, then it kind of helps with reducing our anxiety levels. Because whenever we go through changes, sometimes we're like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't like this change. I don't like it. But if we think of it in a way of, this is a new opportunity to do something new, it changes the way we feel about it, right? Now, the brain is a wonderful, it's just a wonderful organ in our body. I mean, it pretty much controls everything in our body. It tells our heart to beat, it tells our lungs to breathe, it tells our eyes to blink. I mean, it's just a phenomenal tool, a phenomenal organ. And not only does it do all of that, but it tells our mind to think, and it tells our mind to think based on what our body is feeling. So, I mean, it's just doing all of this stuff at one time. So today, we're going to watch Story Time. It's about your fantastic, elastic brain. And I think whenever you watch this and you listen to what the reader is saying and talking about in this book, you'll be able to start thinking about how you can be flexible in your own thinking and how important that can be. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. And I'm going to step away from my desk, but I will be right back, okay?
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to share it with you. How about that? I do that every single time. Let me see. Share. Your fantastic elastic brain. All right. And I'll be right back.
Social Sprouts Story Times, new series, all about having a growth mindset. Having a growth mindset means that you're open to trying new things, even when they're tricky, and understanding that mistakes are how your brain grows. We will first start with a book. Remember and know what you see and what you hear. It lets you move your body and feel both touch and emotion. Your brain does all the things that make you, you. These are some things about the girl on this page. Likes red foods, favorite word is elbow, ping pong chair, knows global landmarks, good at science, enjoys reading pirate books. She's so unique. My favorite word is split. How about you? What are your things that your brain does that makes you, you? So what is your brain? Is it a muscle? No, the brain is an organ in your body. It's made up of cells and tissue. Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Planet Organ. The brain controls everything you do. feel, even every time you dream. Hey, I had that same dream. The brain has many parts that do all kinds of different jobs. Here's the cerebrum, the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex, sometimes called the PFC, and this small part here is the amygdala. And this back here is the cerebellum. Whoa, that pink stuff is busy. I think, therefore I am. That's deep. Let's learn what the parts of the brain do. So the cerebrum is the largest part of your brain. It helps you think and speak. By following along in this book and thinking about the words being read, you are using your cerebrum. The cerebellum is a small part at the back of your brain that helps your muscles to coordinate your movements and your balance so that you can walk, ride a bike, or play tag. I can walk and chew gum. Uh-oh, look out, Mr. Owl. Think about your favorite game to play on the playground or at the park. If you're moving around, you are using your cerebellum. The prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain behind your forehead. It lets you make plans and decisions. Mystery meat or secret soup? Decisions. Think about a decision you made today. Did you decide what to wear, what to eat, or even what to play? Then you are using your PFC, prefrontal cortex. The hippocampus is at the center of your brain. It works like a file cabinet to help you store and find memories. Found it! So, as you're following along in this book and learning new information, it's being stored in your hippocampus. Keep filing away this information. It's really important. The amygdala is a tightly packed group of cells deep within the center of your brain that controls your emotions. So some emotions like excited, angry, embarrassed, frightened, sad, or happy. You may have noticed that the hippocampus and amygdala are connected. Because of their connection, our emotions can influence our memories, and our memories can affect our emotions. We are more likely to remember something that makes us feel an intense emotion, like happiness, fear, or even sadness. Can you remember something that made you feel really happy or excited when you were younger? You are more likely to remember this because of the connection between your amygdala and hippocampus. Neurons are everywhere in your brain. They are the tiny brain cells that make electrical signals to send messages to other cells in your body, telling them what to do. Amygdala means almond. I can see how it got that name. See? It's shaped like an almond. So if your brain thinks about moving your arm to right or draw a ball, the neurons will send a message from one to another down the pipeline until your arm moves. Wow, the brain has a lot of different parts. When you were born, you were very little. Your brain is small and not so strong. But as you get older, your body grows and gets stronger. As part of your body, your brain grows and learns to do new things. And you can make your brain do even more. Your brain grows very fast during the first 10 years of your life. This is the magic decade when you can help your brain grow faster and be more powerful. Just like lifting weights helps your muscles get stronger, learning new things strengthens your brain. You can give your brain a good workout by trying to learn many different things. Can you think of some things you can do to give your brain a good workout? Remember, they have to be new and different things.
What about that? Can you think of something new to give your brain a good workout, Ali?
I don't know. There's nothing to work my brain out with.
Huh?
My God.
What did you say?
He said he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Okay. What about you, Eli?
Like new words?
Yeah, you can learn new words. All right. Let's get back to it.
practice, you learn more about the rules of the game and follow your coach's directions. The muscles in your legs and your feet got stronger, your movements were more coordinated, and you could run farther and faster. Learning more and practicing what you learned let you play better and have more fun. Practice really does make perfect, or at least much better. Let's think about the parts of the brain involved in soccer. And don't worry, if you've never played soccer, think of another sport or instrument or any activity you have to learn. First, the author says to think about the first time you played soccer. She wants you to think about a memory. What part of your brain is responsible for storing memories?
What part of your brain is responsible for restoring memories?
That's right. It's your
Oh, I didn't mean to give it away that quick. What part of the brain? Do you remember, Eli?
Your brain.
What part of the brain?
I'm not answering that. There's not different parts of the brain. There's one whole brain. It's not 5 equal brains.
No, it's not one whole brain. That's what we're learning today, that the brain has many parts.
Oh, guess we don't have a brain.
Huh?
I guess we don't have a brain if...
What do you remember, Eli? What part of the brain controls our memory?
The brain.
Ali, stop.
The hippocampus? You remember that? The hippocampus?
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
remember hippocampus.
Yep.
Your hippocampus. Then she says you probably couldn't kick a ball or make goals, which was probably very frustrating. But instead of stomping off, you kept practicing. What part of your brain helped you control your emotions?
Your butt.
Our brain helps you control your emotions. Do you remember, Ali?
Your brain helps you control your emotions.
Your brain does, but there are parts of your brains that controls different functions.
It's like
So
that.
there's a part of the brain that controls your emotions. What part of that brain controls your emotions? This is what happens whenever we listen and whenever we participate. We remember these things because it's telling us these things as we
It's
go
like-
along.
It's like the small one. Like it's like near the.
What type of a nut does it look like? You're on the right track, Eli.
It's like the outer part.
Right. And remember they compared it to a nut.
Mm-hmm.
It also started with an A. You remember what kind of nut that was? The almond.
An almond nut.
So
Oh,
the
yeah.
way to remember that would be amygdala. What is it? Amygdala.
Mhm.
That's the part of the brain that controls your emotions. Remember how this is what I was talking about when we were pulling all of this together. Remember when I was talking about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and I always talk about what your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all connected.
Mhm.
So this is showing us how those things are connected, right?
Mhm.
The hippocampus controls our memories, controls our thoughts, right? The amygdala controls our emotions, right?
Mhm.
Oh, let's go ahead on. Let's keep learning. Are you catching this, Ollie?
Yes, I can hear everything.
Are you catching it though?
It doesn't.
Yes.
All
It doesn't seem like it though.
I can't catch words in my hands.
It doesn't seem like it. What does it? I'm sorry. What?
It doesn't seem like he's really listening so well.
Well, he's hearing me. I don't think that he's listening, but he's hearing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
You're a great learner. The author says you kept going to practice and learn more. You probably had to do a lot of thinking and remember what you learned. What part of your brain helped with that?
She's going backwards towards now?
The big part of your brain, which is called the big part.
Yeah, the cerebrum. That's right, the big one. You're absolutely right, Ali. The cerebrum, which is the big part, right? And the hippocampus, they work together. Good job. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit because we missed this little bit.
Yep, your cerebrum and hippocampus again. Then she says your movements were more coordinated. What part of your brain helped with that?
Your movement was more coordinated.
Bingo, your cerebellum.
Mm-hmm.
You use your cerebrum and think about a time in sports or other activities when you had to use your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that makes decisions.
Oh, now that's easy.
Isn't that like that small one inside like the middle? That's like sort of curved.
Right. So the question is, can you think of a time where you had to use that? Because that's part of your decision making. That prefrontal cortex, that's a part of that's what helps you to make choices and decisions. When did you use that? I'm pretty sure you used that already this morning.
Sorry about that in the background. It keeps doing it. In the background, there's like some toy that keeps going off all morning.
Oh no, you might have to tell Austin about that later.
Yeah.
So what did you have to think about today? What choice did you make this morning already? Did you make a choice to eat breakfast? Did you make a choice to get dressed? Did you make a choice to get out of bed?
Yeah. He's trying to say
Those are all choices. And they're all controlled by the prefrontal cortex. Or the prefrontal lobe. It depends on how she said it, but you know.
Well, in sports, you have to use it anytime you plan to do a trick move or decide who you want to pass. And this is a part of your brain that you use all the time in class. You have to decide what to write or when you're planning a project. Hey, he's really got this brain stuff figured out. Even when you make a mistake while you're learning something new, you're still training your brain. You will remember that mistake and try something else until you get it right. Nothing yet. Abracadabra? Shazam? Keep trying. Hocus pocus? Making mistakes is one of the best ways your brain learns and grows. If you aren't willing to risk being wrong, you won't take the chances that stretch your elastic brain. Take a look at this girl in the picture. What is she thinking about? Check out her thought bubble for a clue. That's right. She's thinking about doing a magic trick. She wants to try to make a bunny come out of that hat. Does it work the first time? The second time? It doesn't. It takes lots of tries for her to get it right. When we make mistakes, our brain learns what doesn't work and starts to try new ideas to figure out what works. If you give up after the first or second failed attempt, you're not giving your brain an opportunity to learn and grow. So when you make a mistake, just think about how your brain just grew. It just learned something that didn't work, so it can try something else. Can you think about a time you made a mistake? Did you try it again a different way?
What about it? Can you think of a time where you made a mistake on something? Did you just give up after that first mistake, or did you try again?
Try again.
All right, what was it that you, what was it?
she asked you a
I
question.
know, Ollie.
I know Eli.
Okay, that was uncalled for
He just hit me so I can hit him.
What?
and very disrespectful. The both of you need to stop that. Right? We use our hands
He did it first.
So, can you think of something that you tried and you didn't do well the first time, so you tried again? I'll give you an example. For me, it was the bicycle. I tried, I would fall off my bike. But if I had given up, I would not have learned how to ride my bike. Right? So I kept trying until I learned how to ride my bike. What is something that you've tried and instead of giving up, you continue to try?
Drawing?
Drawing. And you know what? You're very good at it. And that's what happens whenever you keep trying. You may not be too good at it the first time. Whenever you attempt to draw something, you may not be good at it the first time. But when you keep trying and trying again and again, then you get better and better and better. And guess what? You're going to get even better and better and better as you continue to draw. Ollie, what is something that you tried?
Something I tried?
Something that you tried and didn't give up on but kept trying.
Riding my bike, because I don't know how to ride a bike.
You said you don't know how to ride a bike?
No.
Okay, so you tried to ride the bike and it sounds like you just stopped trying to learn to ride the bike.
That's not what
He does know how to ride. He does. No?
I'm not even going to answer any more questions.
You're not going to answer any more questions, so you're done participating?
You just said it sounds like I just gave up, and I didn't. I didn't say that at
So
all.
why are you upset about that? I didn't say that's what you said. I said that's what it sounds like. If I'm wrong, then you can be respectful and correct me and say, no, that's not what I said. What I said was, right?
Mhm.
So it sounds to me,
No one was talking to you.
again, you're having some very big feelings about being here.
No, because I literally been thinking for like an hour.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do.
Not what I'm supposed to do.
Well, I mean, we all can use help in managing our emotions. And that's what we're learning how to do, managing those big feelings and learning how to be respectful even when we have those big feelings. See, right now, what I feel like is that you're being disrespectful to me by the tone that you use when you speak to me. So we can learn how to not be respectful to others, even whenever we don't want to be where we don't want to be. Right? Because I can think of many other things I could be doing as well, other than talking to you about managing your big feelings. Because it's not a happy time for me either whenever you feel that way. The thing about emotions and the things about big feelings, whenever you respond and react to those things in a disrespectful way, it causes the person that you're being disrespectful to have big feelings also. I'm not a robot. I have the same feelings as you do. Right? The same ones. So whenever you're disrespectful to me, that makes me feel sad and disappointed. All right? So, Eli, back to you. So the drawing, that's a wonderful thing, right? Because you kept at it and you kept working, and you can draw very well. And as you continue to draw and continue to learn new techniques and new ways to do things, you'll continue to get better and better and better. So that's what the book is talking about. What happened? There we go.
You can stretch the parts of your brain that controls your feelings too. Let's jump together. If you are frightened about taking a risk, like your fear. So you will be braver the next time something scares you, like diving into the water. They gave him a 10. Can you think of something that you were afraid to try at first? How did you stretch your amygdala? What did you do to overcome your fear?
Oh, can you think of something that stretched your amygdala and helped you to overcome your fear? Something that you was afraid to try at first, but then you tried it? How about I'll share? Roller coasters. Oh, I was afraid because I'm not a fan of heights. I don't like it to be up really, really high. So a roller coaster really stretched my abdomen. I cannot say that. Abdomen. It stretched it because I really didn't want to get on it, but because my kids were like, come on, mom, try it, try it, try it. I was like, okay, I'll try. And I tried it, and I liked it. But I just don't do it over, all the time. But I did have fun on that roller coaster because I stretched that part of the brain that controlled the emotions and just tried it out, right? So what is something that you was a little bit afraid to do at first, but you went ahead and stretched your brain and tried it?
I would say swimming, but it's already in there.
Well, that's okay. Swimming it can be very scary at first. So, yeah, that's perfectly fine that you would have the same example. Okay.
Great job. Learning something new causes the brain to grow more connections among the neurons. Do you remember the